Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to continue the series of titles that I'm making. I'm starting with the easiest one that I can think of and work my way up to more difficult ones. We're going to do the one you see on the screen right now today, and we'll go from there. I want to mention I have to use this on-screen keyboard because I'm paralyzed and cannot use my hands, so it will be in the way a little bit. And I use a sip and puff controller. You may hear me sip on it from time to time. I do edit it out, but I cannot always get it all. With that said, we'll start out in Fusion. Go to the toolbar, get a background. Turn the alpha all the way down. Go to one viewer. Grab a text plus node, pipe that into the background, select the text node, put a default text in the box. Keep in mind, I recommend using open sans only when you make a preset, because we are going to do a vector at the end of this. And if you use a font that you brought into your computer and you change computers, this preset will not work any longer. If you use Open Sans, which is in every computer, it will use any and all font that you want to use. You won't have any problems then. With the text node still selected, get a transform. We're going to use this transform to size the default size, so the text in the inspector later on don't look like it's been readjusted. Everything will be as default. And we're also going to use it to set the coordinates of the text. This could be a 2-line, like you've seen on the screen at the beginning. I'm going to go to size. I'm going to go from 1.0 to 1.5. This is kind of a personal preference thing. Then go under the center Y axis and go 0.55. That'll move it up. Let's get another text node and pipe that into the merge 1. And put another default text in. I'm going to change the font to a light. And with the text node selected, let's get another transform. Under center Y-axis, go 0.41. That brings the text down. You can also move it with these little arrows. If you grab the center, you can move it any angle. I'm going to move that over so it's even on the right side. There will be room to move it to the left. The top line we're going to have animate coming from left to right and then out to the right. The bottom we're going to animate down. Okay, click away. Select text 1. Get a rectangle. Right click on the rectangle. Go to copy. Click away right here, right click, and paste instance. And pipe the instance into text 2. If you highlight both of them, you'll see both masks up on the screen. If you don't know what an instance is, it's an exact copy of whatever node you're taking it off from. It's linked together with this little green line. And with the instance selected, everything in the inspector that you see green means it's still coupled with the original node. So if you change the value in one, it'll do it in both. We're going to de-instance a few things here. That way they'll work independently. We'll start out with the center, right click, and de-instance. Do the same thing with the width and the height. The main thing I want to have still coupled together is the soft edge. That way if you add a soft edge to one, it'll do it in both. Because we're going to add this to our macro, and you'll have that control in the inspector later. I'm going to add a little bit to mine. You don't have to. 0.01 for my default. All right, now click away. So both of them are not selected anymore. Select the original rectangle. You can move this mask by either grabbing it here or by using the height and the width in the inspector. Since this is coming in from the left to the right, I want to make sure we're a little large on the height. We don't want to go too wide because it won't animate incorrectly, won't look right. But we want to leave it wide enough you can add more text in there. Well, something like that looks good. Now select the instance and we'll do the same. Now the instance is going to swipe vertically, so we'll make sure we leave this mask long enough. So if you want to move the second line all the way to the left, you'll be able to. Or maybe to the middle of it, the top line. Something like that. Let's go ahead and animate this first one. We'll select the original rectangle. I'm on a 30 FPS. You may have to adjust accordingly. We'll start out on frame 10. Go to center X and we'll move the mask all the way to the left. You want this right edge to end at least where the left edge is at right now. You can go a little more if you want. Set a keyframe. We're going to advance 20 frames to frame 30. You can see that right here, bottom right of your viewer. Then we'll take the center X back. Make sure it works. Now I'll animate it off. I'll go to frame 100. Set a keyframe. Now we'll go to 120. And then take the center X to the right. We'll give it a play, make sure it works good. Okay. If I highlight both of them, the rectangle and the instance, we're going to do the instance next. Now if you select the instance, the original keyframes from the first rectangle will still be on the timeline. And we want to start on frame 25. I happen to be there now already. I want to take the center Y and move it up. Something like that. Set a keyframe. Advance 20 frames. Be 45 for me. Back to the center Y and bring it down. Now we have that kind of action going on. We want to start when the top is almost completely off, which is at frame 20. So we'll come back 10 frames. Next, we'll come back to frame 115. Set a keyframe. Now go to 135. Back to the y-axis under center and bring the mask down. We'll go ahead and give it a play. I'd like to go to edit page and look at it. Looks good. Select both the rectangles again, the instance and the regular. Go up here to your spline. If this is in your way like mine is, there's a little button that says shrink up here, top right. That'll open your window up. Select all of them. Go over here to zoom to fit. If you look at these three little dots all the way in the edge, I have mine set on show only selected tools. So you may have a lot more going on in yours than I do mine. That would be the reason. Go down here to select all, or highlight them if you want. Hit F on the keyboard to flatten, and then T as in Tom, and it opens this little window up for the ease in and ease out. We want them both to be the same, so we'll hit the lock. Let's take this down around 18, somewhere close. That way these ramps aren't quite as fast, and it'll come in a little bit slower and smoother. Close your spline. Bring the text into the viewer by moving your playhead to the center. Select the first text node, shift spacebar, and drop shadow. Now right click on it, copy, click and paste instance. It is not connected. We want to unhook it here, pipe it in there. I'm going to set my default shadow strength all the way down. So we have this option in the inspector, but we don't always use a drop shadow. Something like that. Now select the merge 2 and another transform from the toolbar. We're going to rename that one Group Controls. That way you can move everything around on the screen as a group, both lines at the same time. Make it smaller, larger, whatever you want to do. Okay, before we go any farther, I want to show you the reason why I'm putting this next node in. Right now, this plays and animates out in 5 seconds. If you want to stretch it, make it longer. It'll still only animate the 5 seconds. But we're going to correct that in just a moment. See what I mean? Back to Fusion. With the group control selected, shift spacebar, and type in stretch. We want this keyframe stretcher here. Now take the playhead all the way to the right, and you'll see you have some text left on the screen. We want to go up here under source end. By default, it's on 120. We want to change that to 150, which is what our duration is at the moment, 150 frames. Now your text should be gone. We animated it in completely at frame 45. So the start stretch, we should set this around 45, maybe one or two above that. And then the stretch end, take it to 100. And we'll give it a play. Go back to the edit page, we'll stretch it out and see if it works. Should animate in, hold, and animate out at the end. Okay, I think we're ready to make the macro. Make sure nothing's selected, so click away. Hold the control button down. Select these in the order that I am, because the first one I select will be at the top of the inspector, the last one will be at the bottom. And hit A on the keyboard. Keep the control button down. And deselect the media out. We do not want to include that one. Go to any one of the other nodes, right click. Go to macro. Create macro. Give it a name. I call my text reveal 2. If you don't already know what to select in the macro, whatever node you're working on at the time, if you select that, look in the inspector, it'll show everything over here that you need. And we're starting out with the text. So go ahead and follow along. You don't have to add the emphasis. I just like to do it. Have that option. And the rectangle 1, you only want to select soft edge, and again it'll do it on both lines. Text 2. The center is to set your coordinates in the inspector if you want to move it up or down, or left or right. and group controls. Select center, delete center, and type in group controls. And select size and put group in front of size. Same thing with angle. Now the drop shadow. Again, if you click on that drop shadow node, you look over here, everything's right there. You go right on down the line. I'm not going to add the color to it. I'm leaving mine as black. But you can if you want to. Now go create a file. If you save it as save as, it will lock it and you can never open it in Fusion. If you save as group, you can open it at any time in Fusion. It takes you to macros, but go to Fusion. Down here to templates. Edit. Titles. Right here is where you can make your own folder if you want to. I have mine already made. And hit save. Close out your macro. Click away so you don't screw up your whole project. Now we'll come up here to edit page and we'll find it. Here it is. If you click on it, you have all your controls in the inspector. You have your group controls down here. Like I said earlier, if you want to move your lower text to the left side, you can do that now. Or up a little closer. Now you got the group. Maybe you want to have a lower third. You have the drop shadow controls at the bottom. If you just blur down, you have a much more of an edge on your drop shadow. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.